Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
It is Transformational Tip Tuesday, although Jenny is already on to Wednesday. You saw that. What are we going to do with her? I thought that was hilarious. Catherine's in the house. Kathy, Patsy, good to see you. Shauna, Renee, Nancy's here. Love to see you all coming on in. Lindsay's in the house as well. So is Amber. Hi, Jane. We're going to rock the day. You betcha. Hi, Martha. Look, we have a new quote. Marianne loves this one. If the wind will not serve, take the oars. Right, Jocelyn? Laura? Lucy? What does this mean? This is Diana Nyad in disguise, right? Find a way, ladies. Find a way. So I'm so glad you're here. We are going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today. And today is a day to take notes. Can I just say that? Hi, Tanya. Speaking of taking notes, Tanya, my girl Tanya, you're going to appreciate what I have to say today because this is about you, what you have done. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. So today our whole thing this week is about automating our behavior so that we don't have to mentally tax ourselves, because oftentimes what happens is if it's not automated, what do we end up doing? Procrastinating. You know how that works. Hi, Angie. So we don't want to do that anymore, do we? Have you had enough of that? I certainly have. Marguerite's in the house. She understands all about that. And she's one of the ones who has stayed faithful to posting almost every single day. You know, there's something about that. And so much so that we have decided on September 1st, we're going Hot Melt 30 all the way. Are you ready? Hot Melt 30. We're going to do Hot Melt 30. September 1st, starting on September 1st. And guess what's happening on Thursday? Guess what's happening on Thursday? Sarah and Jerry and Mary Ann, guess what's happening? We're going to do a webinar for it. Yes, we are. I'm going to explain how the Hot Melt 30 works. And we're doing it together as a group. And we're doing it last minute, you betcha. And it's even going to happen during Full Bloom, but who cares, right? Are you ready to do this? savingdinner.com/30. Now you can put a 30 there. You can write 30 out if you want. Either way, it's going to go to the webinar page to get signed up. You're going to want to be there. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern. You ready? Hi there, Doris. I'm so glad. Nancy's already saying she's in. Marguerite's ready. Angie's got her pinkies up. Are you ready? Hot Melt 30 starting September 1. We're going to go all the way there. That's right. I agree with you. The Hot Melt 30 recipes are decadent enough for Full Bloom. They're delicious. Have you tried them? savingdinner.com/30. Go ahead, get your seat. We're going to be sending an email, but still, I want you to get your seat because it's great. Now, if you already have the guide, you are set to go, but I still want you to go through the whole thing just so you have a nice refresher. What do you think of that idea? Hello, Carla. Jocelyn's got her pinkies up already. And Lucy's ready to do it again. I love it. So's Mary Ann. I love that. Also, Full Bloom is coming. You know that. That's at savingdinner.com/bloom. Hello. Don't you want to be a part of that? I know you do. It's virtual event. It's changed to all virtual event, unfortunately. Will you go take a peek at the page? That's all I want you to do. Take a peek at the page and see, is this something that I need to attend? It's very simple. That's at savingdinner.com/bloom. You'll know. You will know. You will know. If you have any questions too, remember, you can ask me anything at any time. You can send it in for our Q&A on Friday, question for Leanne on Friday, and ask me there. That's our Q&A thing. Or you can just say a private email for Leanne and send it to me. It always gets to me. If you have questions about any of our programs, any of our events, anything, we will help. That's how we roll. Lily's here. Hi, Joanne. Hot Melt 30 sounds like a plan. We've already had somebody who who mentioned it? Somebody mentioned it in the Hot Melt 30, our Hot Melt Sprint group, and said, let's do the Hot Melt 30. September has 30 days. So I thought, what a brilliant idea. Look who's here. It's Priscilla. I'm so glad. Bloom Buddies. I love that. Sarah, you said that. You're so smart. You say such good stuff. I love it. So we've got the Sprint webinar. That was last night. If you were there, that had fire in the house, and it's going to give you all the information, get your guide, etc. That starts on Monday. Okay. It starts on Monday. And I know we're all over the place with, it seems, with these challenges, or what is Sarah calling them? Not challenges. She's calling them, what is it? I forgot. You had a good word for it. Focus. That's it. With the focus. That's merely it. Just keep you off the downtrodden path and keep you focused on what we're trying to do here. It's all about vibrancy. Can I just say that? It is all about vibrancy. Catherine, I love you. Webinar was fabulous. Always learning. Listen, and I think Catherine's probably been to all of them. They've changed a little bit as we've gone, but you know what the big deal is? Look at our girl Mimi's here. I'm so glad. But you know what? You know why we're here? You know why we're doing this though, and why we're staying on this? Because it's so easy to fall apart. And when we talk about today's subject matter, and I'm telling you, take notes. Hocus pocus, hot melt focus. Ah, I love it, Sarah. You come up with such good stuff. Hi, Margot. I'm glad you're here too. But the whole thing that we're talking about is going to help set you up for success. I want you there. I want you to hear all of this. So let's see, what else do we have? I told you about the Q&A sprint. I told you about full bloom. I told you about everything. Look how I'm so fast getting it done. So now that you have all of the stuff, now that you're going to go open a new tab and go get signed up. Oh, there you go. For the Hot Melt 30 webinar, that's this Thursday. Don't forget that. Hot Melt 30, savingdinner.com 30. Print it, write it out, numerically do it. I don't care. Either way. InflaCrusher, boy, there's a few InflaCrushers going out today. We still have a bunch. Buy 3, get 1 free. And if you don't know about our InflaCrusher, this is pain relief in a bottle. I'll tell you what, beats the pants off of anything that you may have been taking that might be damaging your liver. This does a job on inflammation like nobody's business. I keep one in my purse. Keep one in the car, keep one with Mark, keep one in, I mean, they're everywhere. At our house, this is what we go to instead of Tylenol or Advil or whatever, because it works. And it's not going to harm anything, as a matter of fact. You know, there's thousands of studies been done on curcumin. That's why I love it so much. Anyway, so let's get into the subject matter today, too. I think you're really going to love this, and this is why I'm asking you, if you are a note taker, take your own notes. This might be just the thing you absolutely needed to hear, because we are talking about automation all this week. Anything that we can do with automation gives our brains a little bit of a relief, because when we tossle and turn and we have our prefrontal cortex all in a knot, just going, should I or shouldn't I? This is hard to, I can't decide, blah, 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 blah. You know, when we do all of that, do you know how crazy that is? You know, and you know, it's mentally exhausting. It's literally exhausting. It makes you just feel like, man, I'm just so over it. I can't even. But automation is essential if you are going to change behaviors that you want to get rid of. And guess what? Your environment is what's going to determine your success. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? We haven't really unpacked that very much. And today we're really going to get into it, because this is the key to everything. This is the foundational principle behind automation, actually, is setting up an environment to support automation. So everything that we do, everything in our lives pretty much is automatic. We go, we get up, we take a shower, we drink coffee, we go to work, you know, there's automation all there. Because you know what's involved. You know what it takes in order to get you out of the door, right? Do you sit there and go, okay, so here it is. It's 6:45. I've got to be to work at 8. That means I'm going to do this and this and this. You don't. You just get up, you get going, and you go, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. That's how it works. You go through this and you go through that and you go and you get things done. It's automated because you've done it so many times. And normally, when you found that things are just a little glitchy, you fix things so that they support what it is that you're trying to do, because ultimately your goal is to get out the door at a certain time so that you can show up at your workplace on time. Am I right? I mean, this is how this whole thing works. That's how we do it with living. It's also how we do it with learning. Yesterday, we talked about repetition. And that's how we learn languages. That's how we learn our times tables. It's how we learn how to drive. Repetition, while it might be boring, is also critical and crucial so that we can automate things, so that we can make things just happen again and again and again. And that's your automation from first thing in the morning, getting out the door. But we've outsourced it. A lot of us have outsourced and automated our behavior so that it's in an environment that oftentimes contradicts what our real true goals are. You know exactly what I'm talking about if you have a pantry with little Debbie's in it, right? Or a pantry with stuff in it that when you open the door, it's looking right back at you and saying, "Hey, sister," that temptation, come to the dark side. You know what that is. You know what it's like when your husband says, "Oh, let's just order pizza," and he's on the phone, with a pizza coming to your house, where if they open the box and the smell comes out of the box and you're going, I'm trying to sprint here. What's wrong with you people, right? Or your kids are saying, "Mom, buy the Fritos or the Doritos or whatever it is, buy to this and buy to that and buy all these things." What does that do? It corrupts your environment, and it's tough. But again, we have to go back to this original premise. If we're going to automate, then we have to automate according to our environment, because the thing is, we have to curate our environment in order to automate our environment. That's just the whole thing. Because if you are constantly put into this place of having all of these things forced into your face, the cheese and crackers, Sarah, exactly. The cheese and crackers. I finally just told Mark to get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them. Yeah, they're gone. And that I don't need them. They don't need me. They can do just fine without me. As a matter of fact, you know what I said to Mark the other day? I said, I don't need any of those. I know what they taste like. That was a relief. That was my get out of jail free card right there. But to curate your environment, there's several things that we've got to do, like a pantry raid, and clear out the pantry if it's offending us. What does the Bible tell us? We have to cut off our hand if it offends us. Same thing with our pantry. But oftentimes we'll get into what happens when you've got a whole tribe behind you screaming, not my chips, not my cookies, not my fill in the blank. We'll talk about that. But you have to curate your environment and create maybe your own pantry. You need to make an agreement with your spouse when it comes to when pizza is going to be ordered in the house or how it's going to work out. You need to have an agreement with your kids on this whole snack situation. Good idea, by the way, because this is a behavior that they're going to take with them. Is it something you want them to have? Is this a health habit you want them to have for life? We got to look at all of that stuff. And this is where the emotional exhaustibility comes in, because the decision-making, puts you in this place of push me, pull you. We've talked about that. And who wants that? Nobody, not a soul. Nobody's sitting here going, yeah, I just want to sit there and struggle with my environment all day long. No, you don't. You don't want to do that. When you struggle with your environment all day long, you find yourself into this place of having to depend on one thing. And you know what that is? It's one thing that doesn't work. I've talked about it before. It's willpower. It's willpower, because you're surrounded, by the enemy. You're surrounded with pizza boxes, cookies, all the garbage is all around you. And come on, it's engineered to hook in. Let's not pretend for a minute that, the kids are sitting here and throwing an apple up in your face and saying, aren't you tempted, Mom? That's not it. It's not that, it's all the stuff that's engineered to do that kind of a work, to take you down and to get you hooked. We've talked about that in our addiction webinar, right? So when you don't connect, when you don't curate your environment, when you don't create your own pantry and you don't make rules and situations so that you can curate something, you have to fall back on willpower, and you're just, you're one among 10 enemies. Think about it that way. That's what happens. Hey, Carol, I'm glad you're here. So here's what you need to do. You have to think about it. It's like having a spare tire for a car. What are spare tires for cars? You know what once upon a time, it used to look like a regular tire, or it was the old tire that you took off your car. Not anymore. It's these insy bitsy dinky winky tires that are used to take you from here to there so that you can go get a real tire. It's temporary, it's small, it's tiny, and it's ineffectual for the long run. That's willpower. Willpower doesn't work. It doesn't work. It works this long. But to depend on willpower, that's not going to automate your environment. That's not going to automate your habits. That's not going to give you what it is that you need in order to get into the groove so that you can get what it is that you want back. It doesn't support your goals. You got me? This is important because I want you to see the dichotomy here. If your environment is all wrong, then your goals aren't going to get supported. You're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be foul play. You're going to have to depend on willpower. And it's exactly like that spare tire for your car. So, and here's the other thing too. You live there as well. Having to have willpower in your own home is kind of like having to walk by Dunkin' Donuts at the mall every day. You see what I'm saying? If it's your home is just full of temptation, and all kinds of stuff, there's no room for you. You've got to negotiate your terms. And I'm saying this because I think that oftentimes we just default to whatever. But on the other hand, one of the other things that we do is we expect everybody to read our minds as well. Like, hey, you should know, mom's sprinting, cut that out, get rid of the pizza. You have to have agreements beforehand. You have to settle your terms beforehand. You have to create and curate your environment beforehand, right? Have the conversation with your husband, have your conversation with the kids, and figure this stuff out. If it's important to you, you will make it happen. You will make it happen. You will have your own pantry. You will have your own setup. You will have things in a row for what you need. You'll get it all done because this is what we need to do. And I just hate when people don't have and feel like they're out of control in their own home. That's nowhere to be. Your home is your sanctuary, just like it is for your husband, just like it is. Nancy's right. Yeah, that's what I was going to put in my notes, actually, Nancy. She says, one advantage to living alone. It's true. You can curate your environment one heck of a lot better than you can when you have to negotiate, So my negotiation with Mark was, eat all the ice cream you want, put all the ice cream you want in the freezer. I won't touch it. But if there's certain things that that'll be tempting to me, and I'll tell, not this, not these things. Don't put those in there. Don't get those. He knows. I've been very clear about it, and it makes a big, big difference. So Benjamin Hardy said this. He says, your environment and you are two indivisible parts of the same whole. Did you get that? Your environment and you are two indivisible parts of the same whole. In other words, you're going to be an exact reflection of what's going on in your environment. Boom. Mic drop, right? So the science is clear. You will automate exactly and reflect everything that's going on in your environment. So this is why we go back to the old stuff, because nothing's changed. Otherwise it's, biting hard on a stick, taking a shot of whiskey and hoping for the best while they cut off your leg. This is how it feels. And it doesn't work. The pain is excruciating. and it doesn't work in the long term. So this is what we need to do in order to curate our environments as best we can. Then you ready to get down into some notes of like what we can possibly do? First of all, one is create a solo pantry. Now, you can live in New York City and still be able to do this. You need a shoebox if possible. This is your pantry, or whatever. But figure this out. Take something out and clear the clutter or whatever and create an absolute 100% pantry. You've got to do that. That's number one. Number two, if your people, remember this is your home too, but they're against you. And if they're against you, not willing to support the environment that you need in order to stay successful with your goals, then you need to bloody well leave the house. If they've decided it's pizza time, then you've decided it's time for me to go for a walk with the dog, extended, or to go whatever. You need an alternative plan for when this kind of sabotage happens. These are the things that we need to do. We have to think these things out. Otherwise, plain and simple, we're stopped before we start. We're back to trying to, do a car race with a spare tire on our cars. It's just not going to work. So leaving the house is like a big thing. And it's a statement, ladies. Can I just tell you? That's a statement. No, I'm not going to put up. I know what this is about. I know what's going to happen. I'm either going to be biting down on that piece of wood with the shot of whiskey while you cut my leg off, or I'm going to leave the house because I want to keep my leg. Let them know. Pick up your voice and say, yes, maybe I changed. Here's the thing. Your kids and your husband might say, oh, look, mom's changed the rules. Oh, great. She's changed the rules. Well, you explain exactly what's going on. Look, this is a rule change thing for me, and this is the reason why I need a voice in this house. I need this so that I can have that. This is what my goals are. Now, I'm not asking you to do it for me. I'm just asking you to help me create the environment that I need, right? Right. And if they're not going to, then you need to extrapolate yourself from that environment during times of particular high level stress, where you have to depend on that stupid spare tire that's worthless, essentially. The other thing that I would suggest, get your butt into our community, for heaven's sakes. This is where you can let off a little steam and just say, it's pizza night at our house and I'm going crazy. Or I just need a little help right now because I'm desperately trying to curate my environment. Got any ideas? Let me just tell you, everybody will come out of the woodwork in order to support you. And then if you're going to take it another level up, go get yourself, what is it, a bloom buddy? Is that what you said? A body clutter buddy. Get yourself a body clutter buddy. This is when you have somebody to just say, hey, text. Really hard around here lately. Just need a little support. Can you pray for me? Can you give me a word of wisdom? Can you, whatever? You hop on the phone for 10 minutes. These kind of things make a huge difference because it breaks the pattern. Do you see that? We have patterns, and this is what it looks like. The pizza, don't order the pizza. He orders the pizza anyway. The pizza comes into the house. I'm not going to eat it. I'm just going to go have a smoothie. I'm just going to go do this. Oh my gosh, that pizza. Can you smell that pizza? Oh, I'm just going to have one piece. And then what happens, right? Oh, there goes my sprint. Oh, well, I'll do it next time. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. There it goes, sliding right down that hill. Doesn't work. That's why we have to get a pattern interrupt here. And we do that by getting in community. We do that even better by getting in with the body clutter buddy. And then if we really want to make a go of this, if we really are intent on changing this stuff out, of automating different behavior, then we're going to get into this place of accountability, one-on-one accountability with our body clutter buddies and saying, hey, you ready to do this? You ready to get together on Fridays at 3 o'clock every single day and just really go Okay, so what are your goals this week? What are you going to do? How are you going to go about that? Are you ready to do that? Are you? Tanya says our community is a part what keeps me going. Tanya checks in every day. Every day. We've seen Tanya's success right between her toes, 158 we did, and we're so proud of you, Tanya. That is success. That's how it's done. Change your environment, change your behavior, automate that stuff. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And I will tell you, you set up those accountability minis. The research tells us that you have a 95% chance of making this work. And what the other research says? You do it on your own, you get the weight off, and you have a 97% chance of putting it back on. Which ones do you want? What research do you want to be a part of? Huh? This is why we're talking about this. Now, we created tools. I'm going to go through them and I'm going to show them to you because I'm so proud of what we have done, because I believe we've helped to elevate this community. And as a matter of fact, who was it? It was Wendy who was actually talking about the Take Back Your Life journal. Okay. First of all, we have the Take Back Your Life journal. The reason the Take Back Your Life journal helps to just completely alter your environment, the way you think, and what you do every single day and change your behavior is because we have a process in which you take the things that you want, drill them down into 3 goals, and write them out every single day. I am statements that are reflective of your goals. And guess what happens to your brain when you're doing this every day? You start doing the things to support those things. What? It's all based on science. This is why we do it. The Take Back Your Life journal works. And if you don't believe me, ask the hundreds, maybe even thousands now, of people who own the Take Back Your Life journal. It's all based on science and it works. They're at savingdinner.com/journal if you don't have one yet. If you don't have one, it's time. And by the way, always use a pencil. I'm crazy about my pencils. The second thing is our mug. Okay, that is our mindful mug. The reason the mindful mug works, this is not just a coffee cup. You can put coffee in it if you want to. But when you see it, you know I am going to be mindful with my food. Because where do we fall down? The places that we fall down. The places where our environment starts to get crazy. You know what you can do when the pizza comes? You can go get yourself a mindful mug full of bone broth. And start thinking about what my goals are. Start going through your journal and looking at your goals and reflecting on what it's going to be like to get there. Those are some ways that you can combat this, not willpower, but tactics, strategy. This is why we have the mindful mug. Those are at savingdinner.com/mug. Look what it says. You've got grit, not quit. You're not going to quit on yourself, are you? Of course not. Not on my watch. You're not. I'll come over to your house. I will knock on your door. I will drag you by the collar. I will take you back and throw you in the group. I'm telling you, that's how adamantly I feel about all of this. Thirdly, I should say, we've got our full bloom. Look at these beautiful quote decks. Why? We've quotes everywhere so that we're constantly seeing things and constantly changing our mind about what we think about. Because the things that we think, if you say, I can't stand to be around pizza, or I can't possibly say no to pizza. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You have to just change your mind about that and make a new thought and make a new way and find a way, like Diana Nyad said, or understand what Pema Chodron said. Nothing ever goes away until it teaches us what we need to know, even pizza. So we have these 3 tools. Those are at savingdinner.com/quote. We have these 3 tools to automate and change your environment. When you automate your environment for success like this, when the pizza comes, you're not going to be falling apart. When your kids are eating moon pies and Little Debbie's and your husband's, snacking on the chips in front of the TV, you have something to fall back on, because all day long, you've been changing your mind. All day long, you've been making different decisions. All day long, you've been writing down and supporting your goals. This is it. This is everything. And without everything, can you can you see how it's changed you? Catherine says, I no longer eat pizza. That's one of our things. Kitchen is closed. And we do that because that is a reminder to close the kitchen. We do the different things. We drink the different things. We have the different things. We take our supplement. We do behaviors and habits that change our environment and automate us toward the goals, toward the life, toward the vibrancy that we are hotly desiring in our lives. You get that? You know why I'm so passionate about this? Because it bloody well works. You know, I'll tell you, how many years did I spend in willpower hell? How many years have you spent there? You don't have to. You just have to change your environment and change the things you're thinking about, and change when you pick up a cup to even think about, what's this about anyway? Can you see this? There's wisdom in everything that you're doing, and it's always coming back to you. Does that mean you're going to do it perfectly every time? No. But I'll tell you what, you'll exchange this failure and I'm a loser and blah, 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 to I'm doing it excellently. I can do this. I can curate my environment. I can automate these particular behaviors and habits. I can make it happen. So I want you to look at this, right? I want you to start asking yourself, what if I changed my environment a little bit? What if I put some quotes out and had a mindful mug and wrote my goals out every day? What if I did that? Instead of just falling into this place of thinking I needed to have this tremendous willpower so that I didn't do this, and oh, she must have this or she must have that. It's not true. All these she's that you're looking at and saying, oh, I want to be like her and this, that, and the other thing. It's because of what they've done with their environments. You know, they don't have superpower willpower. They don't, any more than I do. We're all human. We all struggle. We all look at things and say, this is hard. So then we go about decluttering an environment that doesn't support us, setting up an environment that does, and then automating our behaviors so that this environment that we've set up absolutely supports all of it. I want you to know this right now. This is what it is. You're not being held prisoner by an impossible situation. You just are not. What you haven't done yet is figured it out. And figuring it out starts with creating an environment that is just right for you, that gives it automatic, easy reflexes to reach for a mindful mug, to see a quote that helps to change your mind a little bit, and to write your goals out every single day. As you do that, everything shifts dramatically, and it doesn't take forever either, because this is new behavior to support the life you want to live. And I don't know about you, but that's good stuff right there. I'm telling you, that's what changed my life. That's what can change your life. I hope that you found that helpful. And I certainly hope that you're going to be a part of Full Bloom, because we're going to go beyond all of this and into purpose and into what's next in your life. Oh my gosh, Lily, right? Pinky's up. SavingDinner.com/bloom. If you haven't signed up yet, will you do me a favor? Just look at the page. Allow that page to tell you if this is something for you or not, because there's so much in there, and every word that's written on that page was written from a place of love and a place of wanting to see everything for you. All right? Patsy, Pinky's up to you too. Nancy, Lily, Jocelyn, and all of you. Thanks so much for being with me today. I will see you for Wise Women's Wednesday. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, Pinky's up.